Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to start this video off first by saying thank you to everybody who has been supporting me so far, all of my new subscribers, for showing me that I can do this, for pushing me, keeping me consistent, because here we are a week later and I am filming yet another video. So this video today is going to be me doing a style I haven't done in years on myself. This was suggested by my youngest sister, Aaliyah. I know what this is supposed to look like on someone else's head. I've done this to someone else's head and I know the end result that I got, that I loved. I've seen enough videos, seen enough pictures. I know what I want my end result to look like. Now, I'm gonna need y'all to say a prayer for me, because I don't know if I'm gonna get to that end result. I'm gonna show y'all everything I do, all the products that I use. I'm gonna use the best of the best that I know works in my hair to get me there, but I'm gonna still need some prayers because again, I haven't done this in years. My hair is in good condition. Some of the curls are more stretched, obviously, as I've put it in a bonnet, slept on it, stretched them out a little bit. And you know, it's a little dry because it's time for me to reset my hair, do something else. But again, I'm doing something that I ain't did to myself in years. So I'm scared a little bit, but let's get this started. All right, so of course we start on freshly washed and deep conditioned hair. Going ahead and parting in my 4 sections like I always do, just to make it easier. I got my water and my little leave-in conditioner in my bottle, using the Paul Mitchell The Conditioner to kind of saturate each section. And while I go through and do this, because I'm gonna take a minute parting because everything has to be super straight, even though you're not gonna see but one part, I'll let you know that I actually experimented with this style for a couple days because I wanted to get the best results that I could possibly give and deliver to you guys. I did the style initially and realized I needed to trim my hair. So I did the style, saw how long I could get, you know, how many days I could get out of it. And then I did it again to see if I needed to do it differently. And then I was like, nope, I need to trim my ends. So I went in and trimmed my ends and then did this style all over again. Make sure that you trim in your ends because it makes a difference in how this style is gonna look. Of course, you saw me wet it with the water and leave-in conditioner mixture that's in my bottle. I'm gonna go in with my Paul Mitchell The Conditioner leave-in, and I'm gonna just do it on each section so I can do all this one by one for me. And I actually went into my archives and dug a little deep for what I'm about to use next. It's the Shea Moisture, Manuka Honey, and Mafra Oil Intense Hydrating Twist Defining Custard. I knew I needed something thick to help really define them. You don't have to use much of it, but I knew I needed something thick and kind of heavy because the softness of my hair typically won't hold twist outs alone. And I feel like back in the day, that was the mistake I was making. And then of course I layered some Eco Styler on top of it just to give myself some hold. It's not a super crunch that I get out of this at all because of the moisture that I'm putting in there. It just holds it a little bit for me so I can wear this twist out for a couple days. After I put all those products in there, I just go ahead and start twisting. It's essentially a simple flat twist. I wish that I could get my hands together so I could get them out the way so y'all could see how I'm twisting my hair. Like I said, as I start to record and do this a little more, I'm gonna try and get better at this because I know you can't really see this twist until I start to get to the bottom of it. My apologies in advance. I told y'all I will get better at this. I'm just trying to put this content out here for y'all to see, and I will work on how I present it as I go. But you can start to see the twist in there. You can kind of see how I'm going in and flat twisting. If anything, I'll probably do a tutorial on different types of twists later, but just know that this is a flat twist that I'm doing. It's essentially like you would do a French braid, but a twist instead. And then you go in at the end of the hair once you're not on the scalp anymore and do it like a regular twist, which I actually wanted to experiment with that too, just didn't have time because I think I want to next time do a 3-strand twist at the end of it just to see if I can get a little more definition out of the hair that comes off of the scalp. But even as I go in and do the rest of this, I'm kind of whirling my hair around my finger so that I still got a good amount of definition in the end part of my hair, because I wanted to get as much as I possibly could out of this hairstyle. Even though I know with a fresh trim, my ends are going to curl the way I want them to, I still went in and put a roller at the end of my hair just to ensure that I was going to get the curl that I wanted. So then my hair is defined from the roots to the ends of the hair. And it's the little blue perm rods, nothing too fancy. All I do is take it and go to the end of my hair and start to kind of wrap it around so that I can secure it, and then start to roll it up so that they don't slip out in the middle of the night. That was something else I had to learn. My hair loves to do its own thing when I go to sleep, and I am not a light sleeper. When I'm tired, I go to sleep. Here, I'm just using some Eco Styler to kind of swoop my little edge that I got right there. Like I told y'all in my other video, right now Eco Styler is the only thing that do me justice. Nothing else really holds my edges down the way it used to. Like I used to be able to use edge tamer all the time, and now literally Eco Style is all that does it for me. Here I am being particular about these parts again, but maybe I can be with this one because this is the only one you gonna see. When I go through the rest of my hair, I'm trying to be super particular about all my parts, and I realized looking at the footage how unnecessary it was, except for, like I said, this part that I needed to have defined here, because that's where my part's gonna be when I take all of this down. But you see my little juicy twist, and now I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up so you can see the rest of it. All right, so here I am the next day. Hair is completely dry because I sat under the dryer for an hour and then I left it in overnight. I knew it was completely dry when I woke up, because you do not want to take this hairstyle down if it's still wet, because once your hair dries, if it's down, it's just gonna shrink back up and be super frizzy, and that's not that's not what you want with this style. So of course I took down all of my perm rods. I'm putting jojoba oil in my hands and rubbing it on the flat twist parts itself, and then I'll put a little more in my hand and then rub it down the lengths of my hair, just because I want to make sure that I'm locking in obviously all the moisture that I put in doing the style, and it's going to help when I'm taking this down to not cause any frizz that I don't need to. So like even when you see me here taking it down, I'm being very, very careful and taking it down as slowly as I need to, because I do not want to disturb the curl pattern. I don't want to cause any frizz that I don't need, because when I start to do the fluffing and stretching and all that stuff, I'm going to create a little bit of frizz, but I don't want to disturb any part of the curl pattern that I don't need to, because this is the definition that I want to see. This is the definition that I want to remain once I'm done with all this, with this style. I know that it may take a little longer, but if it takes a little longer, that's fine, because at least you know you've done your due diligence with this style and you're gonna get the results that you're looking for. And that's something else that I probably over the years have learned to, just doing hair in general, of course, and doing my hair, learning that if I need to take time, take the time. Do not rush through anything. And so here I'm just, the rest of the jojoba oil that's in my hand, I'm running through, you know, from the roots to the ends to make sure I got the curls that I want. I'm hydrating them the way I need to. And I gotta say, I actually really like how these curls look. I took the time and I'm actually really liking how they look now. All right, so now that everything is all taken down, I'm just gonna take the rest of the jojoba oil in my hand and rub it on the pick that I'm gonna use to separate and fluff my hair. And I pretty much just start at the top, and you'll see I'm being very careful with separating and fluffing because, like I said before, I don't want to disturb the curl pattern too much, but I want to pick enough where I get the volume that I'm looking for out of this style. So I'll take my time with this process too, to make sure that I'm building the volume that I want, but the definition is still going to be there. I will go in, pretty much start with the top because then I know the lift that I want is at the top, and then I'll start to go down my head so that I start to lift out and then go around so that lift is uniform all the way around my hair. And as I do each section, you'll see that I'm at the root, but I never pull through to the ends because obviously your ends is where your definition is and where you see your curl. You do not want to disturb that at all. So you'll see me going all the way down. I'll go in the bottom to kind of fluff it out, elongate it a little bit, because essentially that's what you're getting from this, a little bit of elongation and volume. But as you can tell, I'm not disturbing my curl pattern so that it alters the style itself. So I'll just kind of go in and do this on both sides, pretty much where you see fit. However you want your hair to look, whatever shape you desire, that's how you want to fluff. So because I have a deep side part, of course I want the lift at the top of my hair and on the side so that I have as much volume as I can get out of this style. And I know for my hair right now, it's day one. I'm not gonna have the volume that I want with day one hair. It's gonna take me another day or two to get there, but I actually got a pretty good amount of volume out of this first day, which again surprised me because I have not done this style in a while. So I kind of surprised myself throughout this entire process because I ended up really liking how it looked. Any parts that I start to see that have a little bit of frizz, you can kind of twirl it around your finger, because I still have leftover oil in my hand, twirling it around to help kind of redefine it in those ways. Because like I said, you don't want a lot of frizz, but if you see some of it is going to be acceptable because it kind of helps to mold the hair into the style that you want anyway. I drop stuff all the time. I'm gonna try and get better at this. So this is just my last little picking that I'm gonna do. And then I kind of use my hands too. You'll see me kind of use my hands to go in and separate after I stop using the pick, and kind of pull sections of my hair apart as well to kind of, again, give myself volume without disturbing the curl pattern. And like I said before, I will take my time and do this part as well because I want to get the look that I desire without undoing the work that I did to get here. That's the purpose of all this. You know, you have to take your time to get the look that you're going for. And that's something that, even though I know it, I'm retraining myself to do, because a lot of times I don't take time doing these styles. And now that we are all done with all of the steps, these are my final results, and I love it. I love how this turned out. I'm going to attempt to do another 360 for y'all, realizing that I wasn't even in the right spot to turn, but here we go. I love the definition in my hair that I gained, especially knowing that I hadn't did this in about 8 years. I'm very proud of how this turned out. I actually might have another style that I might start wearing again. All right, I did it. It's been a long time, but I got here. I want to thank all of the natural hair guys that were with me while I did this, because as I stated in the beginning of this video, I was afraid because it has been so long, but still got it. Still can do this. And actually, it's better than I expected, because like I said again in the beginning of the video, I wasn't doing too good with this in the beginning of my natural hair journey. So I am grateful that this turned out the way it did. Y'all just don't understand how happy I am. Like, it took a lot to do this, a whole lot. So if you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Any questions or anything, any suggestions for my next video, comment those below. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.